Right, next up is my Discovery, which has got the 8-channel and it's the diversity. So from the micro USB now to that type of USB, mini USB, is it? The two different ones. Right, now to do the firmware update on this, I have to do the following. I have to locate the bind button. So when I unplug it when I unplug it, I press the bind button and plug it in, holding the bind button. What I get then is a flashing LED on the board of the receiver. I'm not going to hold it up and show you what the flashing LED looks like, but you need to know where the bind button is. So it's like the old-fashioned way you'd bind most of the receivers. So I will now go to the program and I will update firmware. In the TX software, there was an 8-channel, 8-channel standard. They got the 8-channel light and 8-channel standard. So I'm going to use the firmware that came with the unit. Now it's programming, whoosh, is gone. Once again, I haven't selected the preserve configuration because I'm going to do a full rebuild. I shall now plug it back in. I shall go to the configure page, ready, and I'm going to read from receiver. And as you can see, my version 1.5360. Now my matching TX ID is blank because it's not bound. Setup for traditional EzUHF transmission, setup for low latency. I'm going to set up for traditional EzUHF transmission. I shall select that. Update succeeded, cycle power. Okay. So I shall unplug it back in. So I now have the standard EzUHF transmission and is for 12 channels. Servo mapping. Now if I wanted PPM, this is where I would set it. As you see, set up for a standard 8 channels on the standard configuration for plugging in your servos. Now I'm going to configure for multi-copter. No. I am actually, with my Discovery, believe it or not, I have got it configured to use the 8 channels in a conventional manner because that's what I took off, and because I'm that type of person, I'm going to leave it as it is. So it's going to say as it is. Now if I read from settings from receiver, it just confirms 1 to 8, so I can run 8 servos off it. Program, update firmware, we've been there, spectrum analyzer, now we're at the bind. So I'm now on the Discovery, so I'm going to turn my transmitter off, press and hold the button, and power up, and put me into bind mode. I got to wait, keep my finger on the button.
Normal mode.
Right, now I've had the 3 beeps, and I got a series of beeps I can let go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the bind button. And once again now the LED has gone off on the receiver. And now I should get a heartbeat. There we go. Binding succeeded. Remove USB cable and recycle both. So I'm going to OK that. I'm going to unplug. And turn off my transmitter. Now what I need to do is I need to plug this because I'm running the NASA software, I need to plug that into my PC and make sure that it's all configured and the directions of the servos and everything else are correct. I suggest you do that every model, every time. What you don't want to do is get the flying sight, power up, and the thing does the funky chicken on the floor. So always check it on the PC, check your configuration after updating firmware. This is why, if it ain't broke, don't try and fix it. So as it happens, the little nano device is stuck on that firmware version, so I had no other choice but to upgrade everything else. but be careful, make sure you go through all the settings. Now once you've done all these settings, plug them into your NASA software, into your flight control software, and double check, because the settings may have changed. You might find slight differences, so you need to check, recalibrate, do all your bits to do as if you're setting up the new model again. Pain in the ass, I know, but that's what updating firmware is. What else? Fail safes. When you've finished, make sure you set all your fail safes. Flick a switch to high power on your battery transmitter, set your switches etc where you want them to be, press the bind button for 2 or 3 seconds and you go beep, and then basically that tells your receiver on the craft this is the last signal and this is the signal you're going to hold when you lose communication. And it's as simple as that. Now, you know, it's not rocket science, but it is a pain in the ass, I got to admit. So if you found your way to this video because of problems you're having, then it's probably you've hit the same stumbling block as myself. So flash them all, get them all done, and hopefully we'll be okay with this firmware for the foreseeable future. So good luck, and I hope you enjoy the video. Thank you.